But then my dog died.
Aw.
It was, yeah, I mean, he's dead now, so.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Moby. But,
Shout out Mr. Mosby.
Mosby.
Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. Okay. Maybe I just say that so my guests don't feel as nervous. Maybe I'm lying.
Reverse psychology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back to Your Friends Podcast. I'm your host, Megan Page. This is Pablo, and I'm here with my friend, Owen.
How's it going? There's the camera. There's the camera.
You're such a natural.
Hey, you know.
I mean, you were on that other podcast, and I just recently watched it back. You're pretty good. You definitely came off as a very nice person.
Yeah.
Your sex stories were like very, I was like, wow, that's freaking wild, but they were really interesting. Specifically, and we don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
I mean, please do. I actually completely forgot about which stories I said, so it'd be nice to get a little refresher.
Oh, that's great. That's perfect. Okay, so my first, First, I want to say Andrew Tate is a free man.
He is.
So it's a big day for 14-year-olds and Aiden Ross.
Yes.
Very huge. How do you feel about Andrew Tate?
I think that...
I'm setting you up.
Yeah,
to get,
dude.
get
The
you
loaded
canceled.
question. Holy shit. I think he's alpha male satire. You know, it's everything you want to say, but you know that you're not going to say it because it's fucked up. Some things he says, and this is like a 3%, is like actually smart things that you should listen to. Like when he talks about money and how you should save and shit like that, like 100%. But with all the women stuff, it's like, hey, come on, man. Obviously not. But he did have one thing where he's like, he tells girls whenever he's like texting them that he's going to work when it's like 3 in the morning, and then he just goes to bed because like money never sleeps. And I was like, I might use that.
You know, I actually kind of like that.
Yeah, right? It's like, it's not a bad line.
It's not, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like with everyone I ask, it's always the same thing. It's like, you know, there's a certain part of things he says that I do agree with, but then there's a lot that I don't. But I do agree that he does say some things that are, like, extremely valid and very smart.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously a very smart man. But, yeah, majority of things, I'm just like, dude, what the fuck are you saying?
Mm-hmm.
But very smart for sure.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
good in business. My one thing was you told a story about how you lost your virginity and you broke a sunroof with your head.
Mm-hmm.
Can you like walk me through that? Because when you told the story on the podcast, I was like picturing like, you know, you guys hooking up in the car, and then you break the sunroof with your head, but you kept going and finished. So I'm wondering, like, did you keep going with like the broken glass just like in the vicinity, or like how did that happen?
So we were in the front. Keep in mind, she was 5'11", and I'm 6'4".
Oh.
And it's like two giants fucking in a Camry. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be happening. And so once that happened, we were in the front seat. And then once that happened, we moved to the back seat. You know, I still needed to lose my V card. All right. There was a mission that needed to be accomplished.
Oh, absolutely.
And then she drove me home. Yeah, dude. Did I mention that I left my wallet in the car too?
You did.
Okay, yeah. So sad.
That's awful. Like on top of everything else.
Yeah, like I had to go back. I think it was either late that night or early the next morning, and I went to her house, or fuck that. I was such a dick. I had her drop it off. Yeah,
No
I had
way.
her drop off my wallet, and then I fucking flew to my boarding school like the next day.
Boarding school.
Yeah.
What's boarding school like?
Oh, it sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
I mean the one I went to was very athlete organized, athlete driven, and so it basically was a bunch of Andrew Tates, like just a bunch of Sigma Alpha top dog males, you know, all that. And then me, who's like, yeah, I'm good at my sport, but like, I want to have a good time too. You know what I mean? Like, there was just one kid, because it was over in Florida, and so there's just one kid that I met up with when school started, and he was from the same area I was from. And we were both the same position. We were both first base. I was 4 inches taller than him, all right? But this guy was, 6 feet tall, 250 pounds, fucking muscle. Like, this guy was on roids, you know what I mean? This guy was on trend 24/7. And so I felt intimidated by him, but for some fucking reason, because of my 4 inches, which is a lot, all right?
It's a lot.
He felt intimidated by me. And so, like, I didn't have a chance in hell. Like, he was on the best team, you know what I mean? Like, when the season ended, I think he struck out 2 times. You know what I mean? He had a fucking amazing season, and now he's in, one of the MLB organizations. So, like, power to him. But it was a weird dynamic of I was just there so I could do what I needed to do to get to the next level, even if I, like, probably wasn't going to go to the next level. I was just, doing what I needed to do to see if I could. This guy 100% was going to go to the next level, but for some reason felt like a need to, like, antagonize me.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
He felt threatened by
you. For, like, no fucking reason.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
It's that 4 inches, dog.
Dude, it was, I was what, 6'4", 210 pounds. I was a fucking string bean. Like, insane. Like, I had no muscle on me. I was just, like, a kind of tall, skinny kid, and I was like, I'm just here to play Fortnite.
So, boarding school, were there no girls?
There were girls. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's another, that was a whole different situation.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So the boarding school I went to, there was a lot of, it was very, very, like, iconic people.
Okay.
Like, I was taught, there was this one girl who was a year younger than me, and she was sponsored by Under Armour, and she wouldn't be in school for, like, half the year because she's, playing in tennis tournaments and, like, shit like that. You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm the only person there who didn't have, like, a blue check mark anywhere. You know what I mean?
What? Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild.
Are any of them, like, famous TikTokers or, like,
No, it's all athletes.
All athletes,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Athletes are cool. It's fun.
Yeah, they're dicks, but yeah.
Was it, like, pretty competitive? Like,
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
It was weird because it wasn't only competitive, like, on the field, but it was, like, competitive, in the class, not even in the classroom, just in daily life. Like, when I went there, I bought the shit that I needed to buy. I bought the khaki shorts, I bought the fucking polos, and they were like, you need shoes. And so I bought, like, some random Under Armour slip-on shoes. And we had to wear Under Armour because the boarding school was sponsored by Under Armour.
That is really fucking cool.
Yeah, it was cool, but it was at the same time, it was like, I can't wear Converse. You know what I mean? I can't wear, like, shit I wanted to wear.
Yeah, like, you can't really express yourself.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm the type of person to be expressing myself, like, by wearing clothes. I mean, look at me, I'm wearing a gray fucking hoodie.
Me too.
Look at us. You know what I mean?
Go.
But, like, there would be dudes who would be wearing, like, Gucci slides, and they'd call you a if you weren't wearing Gucci slides, and you'd be like, I couldn't care less.
It's like frat behavior.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
You kind of, like, give frat boy energy at first, but then after, like, talking to you, you don't.
Oh, yeah. I'm the biggest fucking nerd you'll ever meet.
I can see that for sure.
It's just I also lift weights,
Yeah.
It's the dichotomy of it all.
What's something that you nerd out about or you're super passionate about?
I'll fuck anybody up in a Star Wars quiz.
Okay.
Dude, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. I over the past 2 years I've gotten really into Dungeons and Dragons.
Ooh.
Dude, I fucking don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons, but I love Dungeons and Dragons.
I think just the idea of it too, just kind of
so
escaping from reality and literally, like, getting inside a video game and you kind of, like, make it up as you go. I really love the idea of that. I would always watch my cousins play, but I never actually played it. But I was always like, put me in the next game. Then they're like, we're in the middle of a game. Like, we're, like, several weeks in. Like, sorry. So you played baseball. How many did you grow up playing that?
It was baseball 24/7. You either play for the school or play in like a travel ball team, and you'd play for the travel ball team, and then you'd play for the school team. You know what I mean? But because there was no school team because we were in fucking middle school. It was just day in, day out, like summer, fall, winter, just baseball, and I was so fucking tired of it. And so my mom was like, "Hey, let's try out water polo." Yeah, so I did water polo for a couple of years, and I realized I liked baseball a lot better.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the Speedos just were not it, you know?
Is water polo kind of like volleyball, but like in the water?
So think of it like water lacrosse, except we don't have the stick. It's just our hand.
I feel like if I did that, I'd fall and like swallow a lot of water. Did that happen to you?
Oh, yeah. I almost drowned multiple times. It's like a very violent and aggressive sport.
Are people like tackling each other in the water?
Oh, you can, anything above water is illegal, but everything under is fair game.
What?
Yeah, so I'd be kicking dudes in the balls. I remember one time we played a co-ed team. It was me, and I was facing off against this girl, and she had long nails, and she fucking scratched me, and I got out of the pool, and I was just fucking bleeding.
No.
Yeah, because she had she sharpened them. You know what I mean? She had like werewolf nails.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, it was wild.
That's kind of up.
Yeah, but whatever you do to win, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I guess so. So you like respected her more for that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I threw the ball so fucking hard at her face after, but that was only because I respect women,
Yeah, no.
Equality and all that.
Yeah, equality. You gotta do it back.
Exactly.
Was your high school like fucked up in any way? Like, did any like fucked up crazy shit happen? Because my high school was really fucked up, and I have like some gnarly stories.
Okay, I'm gonna need to hear those because my school was actually just so fucking milquetoast.
Really?
Because, I mean, the boarding school, we did have one story that was kind of like, yikes. But the high school that I went to before that, everybody was so academically focused that, I mean, the main thing would be for, like, not getting an A, because it was, like, that hard to get an A. But it also was like, come on, like, this isn't everything, man. You didn't have to do that.
So, like, people were literally committing suicide because...
Yeah. I mean, this happened after I left.
Okay.
Yeah, the biggest thing when I was there was, it was like Vietnam Day, and someone said, like, they were going to blow up the school if anyone showed up, and then so just everyone got a day off.
We're getting in the realm of crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Scary.
Yeah.
Did you have any foreign exchange students there?
I'm pretty sure my school was all foreign exchange students.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
They weren't, but if you went to Doherty Valley High School, you'll know. All right?
They're just they seem foreign because they're just like out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. We had a couple foreign exchange students at my high school, and one of the craziest stories ever was, okay, so I'm just going to say it, and then I'm going to explain.
Mm-hmm.
I technically got a foreign exchange student sent back to Bolivia and, like, deported. Here's the thing, though. It wasn't my fault. Okay, here's what happened, all right? So there's this foreign exchange student when I was a junior, and he was a senior.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Fabio.
Classic.
Oh, he's from Bolivia. Just a beautiful man. Plays the guitar, speaks Spanish. Oh, I thought this guy was, like, very fine and awesome. And so we start talking, and then New Year's rolls around, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to throw a New Year's party at my house because my mom just, deadbeat mom. She just never really cared what I did. But then all my friends were like, yeah, you have the cool mom. And I'm like, she's an abusive alcoholic, but yeah, let's party. Mm-hmm. So I threw a party, invited Fabio and, like, the whole junior class and all that. My high school's pretty small. So I think about 60 people showed up, and most of them were in the junior class and a couple seniors. Now, Fabio shows up pretty early, right? Mm. And there's 4 rules that foreign exchange students cannot do. They're the 4 Ds. They can't date, they can't do drugs, they can't drink, and they can't drive. So if Fabio got caught drinking, he could get in trouble and get sent back or just get in trouble with the Rotary program. So he shows up and I'm like, okay, Fabio, you should probably only take a few shots or you like shouldn't drink so you don't get in trouble. And he was like, yeah, you're right. Like, that's smart. And we had a thing going, like we were kind of talking, you know, but we weren't like dating or anything because like it's not allowed in like.
Yeah, it's one of the 4Ds.
It's one of the 4Ds, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, you can't just do it. You can't do it.
Don't break rules.
So yeah, he's like, okay, I'll just take a couple shots with you before the party. So we take some shots. Everyone starts just coming over like pretty quickly around like 10 p.m. Just everyone kind of showed up at the same time. And I'm walking around the party, you know, doing my host duties. You got to talk to everyone. You got to make the rounds, you know. So I'm just talking. I look over to the backyard because I'm like, you know, I haven't seen Fabio in a minute. Like, where did that man go? I glance over to the backyard. Like 6 football players, the popular football players who were like kind of fucked up in the head. Mm-hmm. But some football players are really nice and are some of my best friends to this day. But some of them were just really fucked up. They were standing around Fabio, and Fabio's just chugging this big-ass bottle of vodka, just chugging the whole thing. And they're all around him screaming, do it for Bolivia! Do it for Bolivia! And I'm like, no! I'm like, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, this is going to be so fucking bad. I go over, I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, what the fuck? And then Fabio's just instantly just fucking belligerent. Mm-hmm. He's speaking like half in Spanish, half in English. Just not too long after that, he like threw up everywhere.
Smart.
And some guy from the soccer team cleaned it up. Shout out Connor.
Shout out Connor.
Shout out Connor. That was nice.
Good job, man.
For real. He was my ex, too, from, like, 8th grade. So, like, kudos to him. That was very nice. His host sister was at the party because I was really good friends with her. She was on the volleyball team with me. Shout out Lily. And she was like, okay, I'm going to take him home to his host family. And when she took him home, basically the host family told the Rotary program. He got sent back 1 week later.
Wow, snitches, huh?
Snitches. Like,
were they white?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Of course they were.
It's fucked up, dog.
It's wild.
And then Fabio, like, people, like, went to the airport and was recording Fabio getting on the plane and being like, the hashtag RIP Fabio was literally trending at my high school. And then it was, like, a full thing being like, oh, yeah, Megan got him deported. Like RIP Fabio. And I'm like, fuck you guys, it was a fucking football team. It wasn't me.
Technically, it was the host parents. It wasn't even the football team. The football team was showing him a good time. You
know what? You're right. Mm-hmm. You're right. I had major beef with the football team throughout high school.
Sounds like it.
It was just really bad.
Yeah, most of the football team, though, because some of them are the best friends.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
Like, 80... 85%, but then the rest were just like, we're very cool and are very, very good, very nice people.
Sometimes the jocks are just normal people.
Sometimes.
Yeah, we're not all idiots.
Yeah. So that's probably one of my craziest, just like foreign exchange student getting deported. That was fucked up.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, and then you had the other stuff like people ODing in the bathrooms off like buying they bought Chinese seeds that. Like, you could get high off of. But they didn't get high. They just, like, OD'd and, like, the ambulance would come all the time. The hallway smelled like weed. Eureka High was, like, fucked up. If you went to Eureka High, you know it's in Humboldt. Have you heard of Humboldt County?
Yeah.
You know, it's, like, where all the hippies and the stoners are. Mm-hmm. It's also just, like, has a huge drug problem. So, like, heroin, meth, tweakers everywhere. Kind of a dark place to grow up.
It's the flyover state of California.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There we go.
Exactly. I think it has one of the worst crime rates in the country, too.
Oh.
Which is crazy because it's pretty small. Mm-hmm. But, yeah. When you were living in Vacaville and going to college, and you were living in the dorms, right?
Yeah.
How was the dorm experience for you?
Well, so, funny thing about this is it was like a... We call it a boat school, but technically it's like a trade school / naval academy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's bullshit. But so our dorms, they called barracks And like, but they literally were just fucking dorms. You know what I mean? They were just shittier versions of dorms. It was so funny because me and my roommate were the two most like socially normal people. Everybody, I mean, if you go to a boat school, you know, there's no 10 out of 10 girls going to a boat school. Let me tell you that. All right, no one wants to be a model and then says, you know what, I want to be a ship mechanic. And most of the guys there were also kind of, you know, they're wacky.
Wacky little guys.
Wacky little guys, yeah. Especially to me. Yeah, dude, me and my boy be just slinging the most vile jokes. And, like, nobody would understand it. And it would be so funny because we would just be in our own world. There were a couple girls who kind of came into our group who were, like, semi-normal, but it was always just kind of like me and him fucking around. But then my dog died. What? It was, yeah, I mean, he's dead now, so.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Moby. But,
shout out Mr. Mosby.
Mosby?
from the Sweet Life of Second Code.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he is in jail, right? For
manslaughter, I think.
Yeah.
Or it was like an old charge or something like that.
It was something.
Something
Yeah,
bad.
this guy killed somebody in that hotel. But yeah, so my dog died and I got like really depressed. And so I literally stopped just attending classes. And then it literally got to, I'd wake up at like 12, right when my roommate was coming back from class. We'd go work out for an hour and then play video games until we just did that all over again. Yeah, you know, it was fun. It was fun. Second semester was fucking wild, though.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that. So, met a girl.
Okay.
All right, and I was like, whoa, she doesn't look like a horse. So that's, that's awesome. She looks like an actual female. And we started talking, but her roommate, who was also a new student, called dibs on me.
No, not the fucking dibs.
Yeah, and so our room was where everybody would come to. You know what I mean? And so we're over here watching a movie. Everybody's in my room. Or no, the second night, they both come. The one that I thought was cute leaves, and then the one that called dibs on me ended up spending the night in my bed. All right? And so we went butt to butt. All right? I ain't gonna cap. Exactly. Ain't no spoon in here. All right. And then second night she did it again, but we had an extra mattress, and so we moved her to the extra mattress. So we were like, just get the fuck out of my bed. And then the third night, I think she went to bed in my room. We woke her up. We picked her up and we put her in her room. And then I invited her roommate to hey, come hang out, because we hadn't talked at all. And then me and her talked for a good hour and a half. And then there was the attraction, cute blonde, me. What could go wrong? And sooner or later, we were together. And the entire time that we were together, her roommate was just shitting on her. If she wasn't in my dorm, she was getting chewed out by her roommate, which is that sucks, but also fucking stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
What are you doing, dude?
Yeah, and also the girl who fell asleep in your room, that sounds kind of scary. Was she just she was trying to mark her territory? I feel like that would, did that make you uncomfortable?
Nah, because she mentioned it pretty early, but she was a raging alcoholic. She did not have a license because she hit 4 cars.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty nice GTA stuff. And I like beer. And so, and the thing is this was a dry campus, and so nobody could have beer. You know what I mean? But I was also 21, so I'm bringing in fucking beer no matter what. And so I had our mini fridge just stocked full of fucking just Coors, fucking Miller Lights, Blue Moons, and then Trulies for the little kids, Yeah, dude, this girl was drinking Bud Lights like they were water. Yeah, and so she was just passed out. And it wouldn't be the last time. You know what I mean? There were multiple times where she would get so fucking belligerent. Where there was one time we went to a party and she got so drunk. Like, she came with us and we were like, we're done. At this point, we were done with her. So we were like, fucking find your own way. And she's like, no, like, I need a ride. I'm going to get a ride back. And I was like, all right, whatever. And then she gets so fucking shit-faced that I have to come out after we all get back home. Like, we all get back to the dorms. My XO, who is like the dude who like watches over us, he comes to us and he's like, yo, whatever her name is, fucking passed out. She's throwing up, like, and I'm like, did you turn her over? And they're like, no. And so we have to go over there, turn her over. She's fucking throwing up everywhere. She's like this was a costume party too. She was throwing up all over my costume. And it got to a point where she's just on concrete, just fucking throwing up. And I was like, okay, let's take her to bed. And so I fucking put her over my shoulder, and we just climbed like 3 flights of stairs. So just put her in bed, and then she fucking fell off. She fell off, and she got a concussion.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's her fault. You did all you could,
yeah,
man.
I know, but it was always like, all right, one more thing. That's what I like to hear. But it's just like,
is that type of alcoholism like in a girl? Is that kind of seen as unattractive to you? I mean, I feel like there are alcoholics that are functioning alcoholics, or girls who they can drink a lot, but they don't embarrass themselves. They don't get like super belligerent. Is a girl who like can't really control herself, gets belligerent, like, do you think that's seen as unattractive in the male view?
I think it matters on why they're drinking. Like when my dog died, the first thing I wanted to do was get drunk. But then I knew that what I would do was I'd associate drinking with death. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went a different route and took fucking sleeping pills instead. You know what I mean? And so, but now that I'm like better and fine, when I drink, it's not, oh, I'm drinking because I need to forget something. I'm drinking because I want to, have fun.
Yeah.
But for her, it was definitely, I'm drinking because I want to forget something, because she had, bad household, shit like that. And it was like, that was her escape. And I mean, like, it got to a point where like she was having like 3-4 locos, and I'm fucking tall. One 4 loco will buzz me on my ass. And she was like, but she would have it in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, she'd be drinking beer like it's water. It was like, yeah, well, maybe don't do that,
Fuck,
yeah.
dude.
And so for if my perfect girl, if my future wife gets as fucked up as me, that's perfectly fine. As long as it's coming from a place of, we're here to fucking
have fun.
We're here to get down. There you go. That's all you need.
That's a good take.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. I feel like, if you're drinking for the wrong reasons, it's very apparent, which, I've drank for the wrong reasons, but I've definitely kind of got it under control to where it's like, okay, I'm not going to drink and then go on a bender for 14 days. It's like, okay, I'm going to go out 1 or 2 nights a month or 1 or 2 nights a week, whatever it is, and, like, I'm going to do it to have fun with the homies.
Exactly, dude.
So
Every Saturday in the summer.
Yeah.
Every Saturday in the summer.
I'm going to go take a bong rip. Woo! Oh.
That was quick.
I'm going to try to do an experiment where it's like, am I better at podcasting when I'm high, or am I worse?
Dude, and I've been getting high and watching, like, fucking South Park, and it's so bad because I'm finally, like, understanding the message, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just, haha, it's funny, but I want to make, like, a video series of, like, person who never gets high, and, like, tries to ride a bike or something, like, you know what I mean? Just, like, does, like, normal mundane fucking tasks.
Yeah.
Because, like, that shit has to be so funny. Because my buddies have videos of when I get high with them. And, oh, my God, I'm speaking a different language.
As you're watching South Park, like, you're kind of realizing things you wouldn't realize if you weren't high. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like weed kind of opens your mind up in a different way?
What it does for me is it slows it down so I have more time to think.
Yeah.
Because normally I feel like right now we're going at 1 time speed. You know what I mean? When I'm high, I'm at fucking 0.5. You know what I mean? I'm over here, and then I hear that I just said I'm over here, and then my brain starts to think about why I just said I'm over. You know what I mean? And then I'll just go down just rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole, and then, you know, I put on fucking South Park, and it's like Cartman's calling someone gay and like shit like that, and I'm like, oh, there's a meaning behind that. Like it's satire. Like I get it now. It's not just ha ha ha. He called someone gay. You know what I mean? It's like it opens my fucking third eye, and now I know why my buddies always are high. Like it's I think it's so funny. Yeah.
You mentioned taking like THC CBD edibles, which is awesome. And fun fact, if you're ever too high, like if you're like, fuck, I'm getting paranoid. My breathing's in the manual. Like I forgot how to breathe. You can counteract that with CBD. And I worked at a little CBD shop for a while, so I know some things. So have you smoked weed before?
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Yeah, no, the voices, you know?
The voices.
Yeah. I already have like 4 or 5 in there, and I don't want to get that multiplied to 10, you know?
Yeah.
It's so wild. I mean, the first time I got high, I was doing a college visit in Pittsburgh, and I was hitting some dude's dab pen, and I thought, that it was like this, and so I hit it, 3 or 4 times, and he was like, do you feel anything? I was like, nah, dude. And he's like, I'd hit it like 2 or 3 more times, and so I hit it another 4 times, because I'm like, I'm a big guy. I greened out, and we were supposed to go to a party, and I was so fucking high that I don't remember going to the party. But we went to the party.
You still went to the party after greening out?
Yeah.
You're a trooper for that.
So we went to the party, and I was told that the entire time I was there, I was talking to a wall. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay, but kudos to you for going, because the times I've greened out, I thought I was going to fucking die.
Oh, dude, I thought I was throwing up like at least 5 minutes in.
Dude.
I was like, I'm throwing up my organs.
I tried this, I think it's like a tincture, like an oil tincture, THC oil. And I was getting like this one brand for a while where like, 2 full droppers is like perfect. Like that's the recommended dosage to get to like a decent high. I had bought like a little bit more of an expensive brand, and I was like, oh, the dosage is the same. Like it's fine. It wasn't fine.
Yeah.
I took 2 full droppers. Bro, I was talking to my dead grandparents in my head on the way to the ER.
You were in the phantom zone.
Oh,
my God.
I was in purgatory, bro.
Yeah.
I was dead. I remember like talking to my dead grandparents on the way to the ER, and I'm just like, I have like the bag, and I'm just like this, and in like my ex-boyfriend's friend's car, and I'm talking to my dead grandparents, and I'm like, am I gonna be okay? And
they're like, no.
No, literally, they were like, no, but we'll see you soon.
Yeah, dude, they're like, you're coming.
Literally, I was just like, no. Yeah. And in my head, I was picturing them as Tom and Jerry. Like, you know the show Tom and Jerry.
Which one was Tom and which one was Jerry?
Tom was my grandpa because his name was actually Tom, and my grandma's name was actually Jerry in real life, and they collected Tom and Jerry knickknacks throughout their whole house.
And they were actually cats and a mouse.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then I got to the ER, and I had to go in alone because it was like COVID, And this was at like 3 a.m. I basically told them I like couldn't breathe because I had coughed up so much acid. My whole esophagus was just like completely fried and burnt. And I have chronic acid reflux, so it's just scary to have your whole esophagus burning like that. And I was like, I can't breathe. I'm going to die. And I told the nurses that and everything. And then when I got seen in the back, have you ever heard the theory of like all mean girls and mean guys go into nursing, like from high school, like the bitches from high school, like go into nursing?
No, but I can see it.
There's actually a statistic where kind of like people who have like lower empathy, like narcissists or just like mean people, have a tendency to choose nursing or like doctor, like whatever, because they have a sense of power over someone. And they kind of like, exactly.
I'm going to be a doctor then.
No. And then, I got seen back there, and I told them what was going on, and I could barely speak because the acid had like fried my fucking vocal cords, so I couldn't speak very well. And I was still, like, really high and all that, of course, and just freaking out. And they basically were pointing at me, laughing at me, like, in a really bad, like, fucked up way.
Mm-hmm.
There was, like, one nurse, she was, like, 30. You know she was the mean girl in high school. There was, like, a guy who was, like, in his 30s as well. And you could tell he was...
Yeah, he killed kittens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he was just, like, fucked up. Like, you know this man's either a sociopath or, like, a narcissist with how, like, little empathy they had in their eyes, you know? So I was like, this is fucked. And then I was just sitting there crying, and they basically told me that I either have to take a Xanax or I have to get out of the ER.
So you popped a Zandy?
Nah, I left. I don't fuck with, like, pain pills or, because I have an extremely addictive personality. So I just know I can't. I don't let myself. I'll just stay away, because literally if I go get, like, a chai tea latte, right, like an iced chai tea with vanilla oat milk, I have to get that chai tea for, like, the next 5 days. Like, that's how, I don't know. It's like anything that gives my brain a little sense of, like, comfortability, comfort, a little bit of ease, I kind of cling on to it.
A little consistency.
Yeah, a little consistency in my life that I've never had, you know?
I broke a hand. This is the reason why I'm not playing baseball now. But I broke a bone in my hand, and I had to get it removed. My family has a lot of alcoholics, a lot of addictive, And so my mom would, like, cut up the painkillers in, like, halves. But she wasn't giving me the painkillers. She was giving me, like, cut up Advil.
And
you know what
she
I mean?
was popping them.
She just threw them away.
Yeah.
We didn't even.
For her.
Yeah, but she, like, didn't even allow me to fucking have them. You know what I mean? So I'm over here with, like, the worst hand pain in the world. I'm like, dude, this Advil's fucking for not helping at all.
It probably could have been okay, like a couple times.
I think the reason why that happened, I think, was because when I got my fucking wisdom teeth removed, that's what my mom did, was she would cut up half a painkiller and then give it to me, and then I'd be like, eh. And then, it'd be fine. But I remember I woke up at, like, 3 a.m. and she was working. And I was like, what are you doing, you dumb And my mom was, the fuck you just say to me? And I was like, dude, I have no idea. What did I just say? And, like, I was dreaming. I was like lucid dreaming that I was in fucking Game of Thrones, apparently. You know what I mean? And it was just, I was like, after that, I was like, I'll probably.
That's insane that you bring that up. Because my mom just called me right before this. We recently just rekindled our relationship, kind of. And she was literally saying, like, last night she took a muscle relaxer, but I think she took a pain pill, probably, like a Vicodin or something. And she said she woke up and she was, like, backwards in the bed. And then she was, like, dreaming, but then she woke up and was like, where am I? Where am I? Where am I?
She was in the VR world.
She was in a... Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Okay, yeah. Metaverse. Yeah. That shit's crazy. Pain pills are fucked. It's definitely a slippery slope. I have a funny story about painkillers, actually, that I think you might like.
Lay it on me.
It's kind of wild. So, when I was a sophomore, I had to get a root canal. It was my first root canal. And the doctor had prescribed me a full bottle of Vicodin. I did not need a full bottle of Vicodin. I was 15. I weighed, like, 95 pounds. Did not need that.
Yeah, you need some water.
Yeah.
And, like, 8 hours of sleep.
Exactly. But, yeah, so the doctor prescribed me Vicodin. And I had to get picked up, like, in the middle of 6th period, which 6th period at my high school was the last period. And so I popped. My mom was like, oh, yeah, just take 3. Take 3 Vicodin in the middle class or right before class, and then I'll pick you up. I was like, yeah, okay, bet. I'll take 3 because, like, I didn't know,
Math is hard.
And my mom, like, she had been a pain pill addict, like, for the majority of her life. So she probably has to take, like, 7.
Yeah, she was hitting you with her stats. Yeah, dude, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then, so I popped 3 Vicodin in the middle of class. Also, like, probably something I shouldn't have done in the first place. Probably not appropriate. Did that. I'm 15. 95 pounds. My mom is there at school to pick me up. So I walk down the stairs of my high school, walk out, get in my mom's car, And she's like, okay, I'm going to drop you off at the house, and then I'm going to go, like, pick something up from the store, and then I'll pick you back up. And I was like, okay, bet. So we stop at my house. My house is a block away from the school, so it's, like, very close. And I still miss school all the time. But I get there, and I'm, like, in the bathroom just, like, looking at myself, brushing my teeth before the dentist. Because I'm like, oh, this will make up for the 15 years I didn't brush or floss. So did that, and then my mom came back to pick me up. And I just, like, get on the floor, and I'm just crawling on the floor. And I'm like, I don't feel very right. And then I finally, like, get up, and I'm like, no, I got this. Like, pep talking to myself. Like, it's placebo. I'm fine. So I walk out to her car. I get in the car. We head to the dentist, which is, like, fairly close to my house. We get there, park the car in the parking lot. I open my door, and I just fall out into the parking lot, and I'm there on the parking lot cement just throwing up my whole life. And she was like, oh, maybe 3 pills was, like, too much for you. And I'm like, I'm dying right now. Like, I think I need to go to the ER. She ended up taking me to my dad's house. And they're divorced, and they don't really get along, but she took me there, and my dad got so pissed, because, like, I think I could have died. My fever was at, like, 103, and I had to take an ice bath, and I was calling all my friends, telling them I was dying, because I felt like I was dying, and ever since then, I was just like, hey, I'm never taking a pill again. Also, just, like, seeing how my mom grew up, I'm like, okay, I got to stay away from that shit because it's bad. And then, like, that night, I had the most vivid nightmares I've ever had in my life. Like, Vicodin gives you vivid nightmares.
Dude, painkillers will fucking teleport you somewhere.
Literally. Yeah. And if it's a bad place, you're just fucked.
You're just stuck. You're just stuck there, dude.
You're so fucked.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten so high that you just, like, start laughing, crying?
Yeah. I don't really like getting high because of the said voices. But boat school wasn't the first college I went to. I went to a community college before then, and that was in San Francisco. And so it was me, and it was 2 pitchers because all the baseball guys lived together. And we lived in a little apartment in Pacifica. And the 2 pitchers loved getting high, and I like nicotine. All right, so, like, that was my advice. Weed was theirs. And so one of our shortstop comes in, and he has this big dab rig, and I'd never taken a dab before. And so I come back from our workout. You know, I have this really nice Ike sandwich. I just fucking ate it. Oh, my God, so tasty. You know, I'm going to go take a nap and not go to school. Usual. All right. They're all sitting in the living room. They're like, we're about to hit this fat dab. Owen, you want to hit it? And I was like, no. And then they were annoying me. One thing led to another. Peer pressure. I ended up ripping the dab. But the thing is the dude who filled it for the dude next to me who was like a very avid weed guy.
His tolerance was hella high, and yours is just like at base
I'm
level.
Shaggy day one.
Fuck.
Right? And so I hit it, and I throw everything up, and I fucking pass out, and I wake up, and I was asleep for a day. Like, damn near. Like, I woke up the same time, like 3 p.m. the next day.
Wow.
And I was still high as shit.
Because I feel like when you're high the next day from, like, a dab or an edible,
it makes the day so boring.
Yeah.
Like that's why I can't eat an edible after, like, 10.
Yeah.
Like, I have to eat it at 10. That way, by fucking 8 a.m. when I wake up, I'm not going to do anything today. You know what I mean?
To me, it feels like a dirty high.
Yeah.
Like, you're high, but it's just dirty
it's like
and groggy.
It's like a hangover.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah. No, speaking of hangovers, if I'm hungover from alcohol, I'll smoke weed, and that shit will cure my hangover so quick.
Yeah?
It's awesome.
You know also?
What?
A shit ton of bread and a shit ton of water.
So true.
Dude, you put chips in front of me after I've had 15 beers, and I'll fucking eat everything.
Greasy food is so good.
Yeah.
After, like, it just soaks everything up.
Do surprisingly really good is lettuce.
Really?
I'll fuck lettuce up.
Wow. I'm going to have to try that.
Just the balls of lettuce? What are they called?
Like icebergs?
Yeah. I'll eat an iceberg, man.
You know what else is really good? Chasing tequila with vanilla almond milk.
I don't know about that one.
Hey, they don't call me almond milk girl for nothing. Roll the clip.
Is it an addiction?
Is it an addiction? No, I don't think I think it's an addiction. I think it does put me, like, it makes me happy. But no, it's not.
I literally swear to God, the best chaser for alcohol is vanilla almond milk. And I will put that on, like, my life.
The best chaser is nothing. You got to let that shit hurt. Because then if you go back for another one, you're like, all right, I'm ready for it. Because I've never seen my dad chase any hard alcohol. I mean, because he's usually drinking cocktails, but whenever he takes a shot, he doesn't chase it. So when, growing up, I was like, I'm not going to chase it. Like, real men don't chase, And then all my friends are like doing, the fucking limes and shit like that. And the real reason is no one fucking taught me how to chase. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And apparently no one taught my dad either, because last weekend we were in Tahoe and we both got a shot of some really nice whiskey or hard alcohol and then the fucking lime. My dad sucked on the lime and then drank the whiskey. And I was like, this guy just chased his lime with a shot. Like, you did it wrong, dude. Like, that's just not how you, what are you doing?
I gotta say, though, I will do the chaser, leave some in my mouth, drink the alcohol, and then drink more of the chaser. But I've never heard of, like, doing the chaser and then not doing the chaser.
Yeah, I was like, what's this guy doing? This guy's just...
Like, what's the point of the lime?
No point.
Yeah.
I guess he just likes, the soury taste.
That's wild. What's your favorite alcohol?
Ooh, right now, I don't know. I've been trying to find... The one thing I've realized is, like, real adults have that one, like, go-to beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for my mom, it's Blue Moons. For my dad, it's Guinness, And so I've been trying, like, I really like a Blue Moon. You know what I mean? I really like a hazy IPA. I really like a Racer 5. I got to find, like, that one beer that everybody has that, that's not fucking water like a Bud Light or,
Coors Banquet is my least favorite beer.
Really? I fucking love Coors Banquet.
I can't, dude. It's too heavy.
And I do. A Coors Banquet makes you feel like a fucking cowboy, dude.
I can
Ever
see
since
that.
Yellowstone, if I see a Coors Banquet, I'm fucking popping that thing open.
You went to Yellowstone?
The TV show.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm just severely uncultured.
Yeah, you're also high.
I am. Yeah, that's true.
It's okay, man.
I feel like with high, like, if you're high... someone says something and you kind of take it too literally,
100%.
or you like mix it up with something.
Yeah. Or you'll read too much into one thing, and it'll be like that led nowhere.
Are you a believer in like everything happens for a reason, or are you kind of like I think that's bullshit. I don't really believe in that.
That's a weird way to say if I'm religious or not. I mean I do think everything happens for a reason.
Are you religious?
No. Me
neither. I'm like,
I mean, I'm as religious as I need to be, so my grandparents don't talk to me about religion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wear a chain that has the cross on it, just in case, grandma's like, we should go to church. Like, I know he's with me. Just like, shut up. Don't talk to me about that.
I think the whole problem with it is like, I think it becomes a problem when people who are religious try to shove it down your throat.
I think it becomes a problem when people who are religious look into it for everything.
Yeah.
It's not you're crazy, and it's not because Jesus made you crazy. It's because you're fucking crazy. But you believe in Jesus. Like there it is.
Yeah.
That's the algorithm. Like if your entire family fucking hates you, it's not Jesus testing you. It's you're a bad person. Maybe change yourself. Don't blame Jesus for all your fucking problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a weird kind of middle ground.
Yeah, and I think it's fucked up when it's just like people tell you like, oh, like I wish you went to church. Like I wish you knew Jesus, and it's like, can you just respect my boundaries and maybe we just don't have to talk about it and, like, I'll respect your boundaries,
Well, I think what that does is it opens free game for ridicule and criticism. Yeah. You know what I mean? If someone's like, hey, man, you should go to church, hit them with that. I don't want to be molested. You know what I mean? Like hit them with something where they'll never talk to. All right, God, I just hit a choir boy with my pickaxe. What? I don't know. I don't like Jesus. Like there's so many different ways you can go about it, where it's the amount of options you have to shut people up are insane. But the thing is if they're gonna say it no matter what because they believe in it, and you're not gonna change your mind because when has anything anybody else said, have made you be like, oh, you're right. You know what I mean? There's never in fucking history has there been, everything that's changed has been fucking forced, okay? Yeah. If everyone had a choice between having slaves or not having slaves, and Abraham Lincoln didn't say, hey guys, there's no slaves, a lot of people would still have slaves. You know what I mean? Free will is sucks.
Yeah.
It's good, but it also, people are stupid. Yeah. So, yeah.
Speaking of people are stupid, maybe that's a bad segue, but I found out yesterday, today-ish, that my old friend group all got felonies and charged for conspiracy. And I stopped hanging out with them on New Year's because they were like,
yeah, we're going to go rob a bank.
Yeah. No, they're just like partying really hard a lot. And I partied with them for like a couple of months, but then I was like, okay, I want to get back into podcasting. I need to make money. I need to not spend my money on alcohol and drugs, so I kind of just like stopped hanging out with them and all that. And I was pretty bummed when that happened. Oh no, it's blackout time. This is like in school when it was like rainy day recess. Yeah, I literally just found out that my friends got felonies and charged for conspiracy. And yeah, I was bummed that I stopped hanging out with them because I was just, when you have a friend group who's like cool and you hang out with like every night and party with, you do get attached. And but I was like, I think I just need to like be by myself for a while or be away from this at least. And
maybe they need Jesus.
Yeah,
maybe someone needs to go over there and talk to them.
Yeah, maybe who are the people who knock on your door?
Yeah, Jehovah's Witness?
Yeah,
there you go.
Man, someone called Jehovah's Witness right now. Yeah, so I probably can't say, like, much else legally because I don't want to fuck any shit up. I don't know, I don't feel like violence is the answer for anything, even, like, if they owe you a lot of money. Like, yeah. I just don't stand for that shit, and I had just hung out with them like 2 weeks ago, and I'm so fucking glad I wasn't with them 2 nights ago when they got felonies. I can't even imagine having it. I mean, hopefully in my brain, knowing me, I probably would have just left because I just don't agree with what they did. But back to everything happens for a reason. I think everything happens for a reason because I'd still be hanging out with them, and I probably have a felony right now. Mm-hmm. So it's really good that I don't.
Yeah, and now you have Jesus.
Yeah, now I have Jesus with me and Pablo. And we're all going to smoke crack. Okay. Yes. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, no problem. This was fun.
Yeah, and do you want me to like link your Instagram and all that shit?
Dude, yes. I'll send you the deeds.
Bet. All right. All right, you can find Owen Griffin on Instagram. Thank you for watching, and if you want to leave a like and hit that subscribe, that would be freaking awesome and super cool. And I'm going to go smoke more weed and maybe some crack. And, yeah, that's been our show. Anything you want to say?
I'm new on and some shit. I mean, yeah, Instagram and some shit is that's my new account. So, yeah, make sure to give a like and follow there, too.
All right. You heard it here first. And send us out, Phil. It's here. Now. All right. That's our show, everybody. It's like Saturday Night Live.
That's insane.
Woo.